Hi everyone, I'm Anna, a certified Reiki practitioner, meditation guide and fibro warrior. If, like me, you live with mental or physical health conditions, general anxiety or pain conditions, stay tuned. I've got a lot of tips and tricks for how you can use spirituality and mindfulness to make your life happier and more fulfilling. I realised I've done a few videos now and I've mentioned my fibromyalgia, but only briefly. I've not really told you why I'm here or how I got here. I want this to be a safe space for everybody dealing with physical and mental health stuff, so I think it's only right that I open up about myself, my conditions and my struggles. I have always lived with health issues. I've had eczema since I was really little. It went away mostly when I was in my teens, but it came back really bad, like worse than I'd ever had it before in my mid-20s. I only realised about a year or so ago that it was probably triggered by a trauma that I went through around that time, a sexual assault. Since then, I've also been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, which is also caused by trauma. It can be assaults like mine, but it can also come on as a result of things like car crashes or other traumatic events. Fibro is a pain disorder, so people with it experience widespread, regular pain. The pain is actually caused by your brain sending signals out when it shouldn't. Basically, our brains have been rewired differently after a traumatic incident. But it also comes with a huge array of other symptoms, which vary from person to person. Personally, I experience anxiety, depression, noise and light sensitivity, restless legs, skin rashes and sensitivity, dry sore eyes, and lots of other things that I can't think of right now. There are so many different things you can experience with fibro, and chronic fatigue. Most, if not all, sufferers deal with chronic fatigue and sleep issues. I've had anxiety and depression since I was a teenager. I did have some earlier traumas and assaults too from the age of about 15. I'm pretty sure that I have PTSD as well, although I haven't had that diagnosed yet. So between mental and physical stuff, I'm pretty much dealing with a variety of pains and anxieties on a daily basis. I worked in market trading with crystals and spiritual stuff for the last 5 or 6 years and made lots of handmade vegan goodies like candles, melts, soaps, essential oil sprays and rollerballs. But about 7 weeks ago, I left the market because it was just too much with my health. I couldn't reliably be there every day it was open. I realised that I needed to prioritise my own needs and my own health, mentally and physically. So that's why I've started this channel, really. I want to share my healing journey with you, as well as hopefully helping you to find healthy ways to deal with your stresses and health issues on a spiritual level. Obviously, go to a doctor. Spirituality can absolutely aid your healing, but it doesn't always replace the need for medicine. I want to build a safe space and a community because I know that spirituality and mindfulness can help everyone, whether like me, you live with physical or mental health conditions, or even if you're just someone trying to find ways to cope with day-to-day stress, life in general. Studies have shown that increasing your spirituality and mindfulness has a positive impact on your mental health. It can help you to feel more connected to the world and others, as well as helping you feel more resilient, hopeful and present. It's also proven to help your stress and anxiety levels. Specifically in relation to fibro, studies have shown that fibro warriors with a spiritual practice have a better quality of life. They also find meaning in their lives more easily. I think that my outlook on life is really different to how it would be if I didn't have mindfulness and spirituality. In fact, I know it would, because I remember how I used to feel when I was ill before I got into spirituality. Generally, my skin gets very sensitive to the touch, always when my eczema's flared up, but sometimes just at random too, like it'll be uncomfortable or painful to have any fabric touching my skin. It sometimes just hurts to lean back on my pillows in bed or have clothes touching my back, arms or shoulders. I think it's a fibro thing. fibro seems to be so specific to each person. Anyway, when it hurts to have anything touching my skin sometimes feels like it's on fire, and often my eyes will be sore too, like it always feels like there's grit in them and it's hard to keep them open. Another fibro thing. I've got 2 friends with fibro, they both have eye issues as well. That can also come with headaches or tummy aches. So often I'll have a lot of things going on at once, things that are painful and uncomfortable. And sometimes it makes it difficult to feel like I can do anything. I can't really read or watch TV because I can't concentrate. I don't know if you can relate, but when you're just feeling shitty like that, it's really easy to get frustrated or even depressed after a while. Stuff like this has made it a necessity, really, for me to start gathering techniques and tactics to help me be as calm and relaxed as possible, to minimize the suffering caused by my conditions. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that life will be easy, because it isn't always, or that practicing spirituality, mindfulness and meditation will fix your life completely, because it's a practice that we build over time, but it certainly helps and it's worth the time and effort. I think that the more you build your practice, the more it will ease your suffering. That reminds me, actually, I was learning recently about the difference between pain and suffering. It was really eye-opening for me and helped me compartmentalize my pain and suffering as 2 different issues. Pain is something real, solid and grounded. It manifests physically in our body. It's a physical sensation and we can't just delete it when we want to. But suffering is created by our brain and through our thoughts and emotions. Suffering is caused by our emotional response to pain. I realised how important and helpful it is to recognise this, how pain and suffering are 2 very different things, because we can't erase the pain necessarily, but we can reduce or even eliminate our suffering by using mindfulness to help control our response to the pain. If we can learn to accept the pain and even treat it with compassion, then we can learn to sit with the experience of pain without letting our mind generate additional suffering. It's been much longer than I intended since my last video. I started planning this over 2 weeks ago now, and then got a skin and fibro flare up. But this is exactly what I mean. We have to give ourselves time and grace when we're finding life difficult. So I'm sorry it's been a while, but I also thank myself for giving me the time and headspace that I needed to recover. I'm going to get into practical tips now that you can use in your daily life to help alleviate the effects of physical pain specifically. I'll get into tips for mental health a bit later on. So firstly, I want to talk to you about pacing. If you suffer with fibro or other chronic conditions, you might find that you don't have the energy to get everything done. Sometimes we've got a whole list of stuff to do and just don't have the energy. Always prioritize or do smaller, easier tasks first if that works better for you, but also pacing is super helpful. All pacing means is taking breaks in between jobs rather than trying to stay on your feet and get everything done in one go. If you've got the energy and you want to smash a bunch of jobs out in one stint, then great. But I often find I just don't have the spoons or energy to do that. If you aren't sure what spoons are, by the way, I have another video about it. Go check that out. Really useful for chronic pain sufferers especially. But yeah, pacing, it basically just means go and do a little job, wash up, hoover, walk the dog, whatever it is, and allow yourself to rest after before taking on the next task. You can set a timer even for how long you want to rest. That might help motivate you to carry on after your break. I will watch an episode of something and then get up and do the next thing and then have another rest, maybe watch another episode of something before whatever the next job is. And this strategy is generally advised for fibro sufferers, but it's super helpful for a lot of people with a variety of different conditions. Pacing can really help you recharge your batteries a little bit in between tasks and give your body a chance to rest and reset rather than pushing yourself and overdoing it. Another thing you can practice for pain management is something called conscious suffering. Anyone can do it with general aches and pains or whatever, but especially for us fibro warriors and chronic pain people, it can be a really useful way to minimize the stress and frustration that comes with being in pain regularly. Practicing conscious suffering raises your ability to deal with pain and teaches you that pain and suffering are two different things. Like I said earlier, we can't always control the pain, but we can control our response to the pain, which is what causes us to suffer and feel miserable. Conscious suffering can also give you faster spiritual growth because it's a mindfulness technique that those with pain can practice regularly. So it serves more than one purpose. It'll help you manage your response to pain and it'll further you on your spiritual path. Win-win. So how do I do it? I hear you ask. Well, the key is resistance, or lack of it. We naturally want to resist pain and fight against it because pain is a sensation that we don't like. This can send your brain into a spiral of feeling sorry for yourself, and the pain feels worse if we are stressing out about it. So we need to recognize that the pain will be there, whether we like it or not. We need to accept the pain, sit with it, and accept its presence. When we realize that suffering is resistance or non-acceptance of the physical sensation of pain, we can begin to learn how to control our subconscious response. It's a bit like meditating. You think, I am in pain. How do I choose to respond? If you sit with it, observe it, like you do when you meditate, this should give you the mental space to start making different choices when the pain shows up. You're telling your conscious mind that yes, this hurts, but other than that, what's wrong with this present moment? Usually nothing. It's called a practice because you won't nail it first time or every time, but the more you do it, the better you'll get, which in turn will start to ease your levels of suffering. Here's an example. Obviously, I can only speak from personal experience. What's pretty typical for me is that my skin will be itchy all over, usually with some rashes, either fibro, eczema, both, I don't know. And at the same time, my eyes will often be sore and dry, constantly feel like they've got grit in them. Before I started practicing conscious suffering, I'd be frustrated and usually making my eyes worse by rubbing them and making my skin worse by scratching. And yeah, I still get into this rut sometimes, but more and more with practice, I am responding differently. What I try to do is assess my situation. I'm in pain, that can't be changed. So I need to be kind to myself to minimize my stress response. Maybe I'll have a bath. I always feel better when I'm in the water. Or I'll say, okay, I can't watch TV or read because of my eyes, but I could listen to a podcast or meditate. I try my best to separate the pain from what I'm doing and my mental state. Don't ignore the pain, it won't help. But when I can accept that it'll be here for as long as it's here, I can recognize that things could be much worse. And I just need to do the best, most relaxing things that I'm able to do at that moment and sit with my pain with kindness and compassion. Buddha said, I teach suffering and the end of suffering. And I think that's really interesting and relevant to practicing conscious suffering. So I'm going to move on now to techniques that can improve both physical pain and mental health. I'll touch on acceptance really briefly because I have another video just on acceptance. It's really important for keeping you calm and grounded in any difficult moment, whether you're experiencing physical pain, anxiety, depression. Accepting your current situation is so key to keeping your head above water. Like I say, I have another video all about how to practice acceptance in your daily life. So go check that one out for tips on how to practice. Now, meditation. This is a big one. A regular meditation practice can be truly beneficial for everyone. Even if you don't have any physical or mental health stuff, it's just a great tool to keep you present and grateful. It brings you back to yourself and quiets that monkey mind which just loves to bombard us with worries about the past and the future, things that have already passed that can't be altered, or things that haven't happened yet and in all likelihood might never happen at all. This is why learning to live in the present moment as much as we can is so important for our mental well-being. All the tips I'm giving you, acceptance, conscious suffering, they are amazing and so useful for self-help and perspective while we go about our lives. But meditation invites us to sit in complete stillness, forsaking everything but you, your breath, your body and your mind. Gives you the opportunity to quiet all the hubbub and actively practice coming back to yourself in the now. Practicing meditation regularly will improve your levels of stress and anxiety. It will help you be more calm and have a more positive outlook on the world. There are tons of studies now that support the many benefits of meditation. So if you can, try to meditate regularly, not just when you're having a bad day and feel like you need it, but on good days too. Daily is ideal, but that doesn't work for a lot of people. I don't do it every day. Once a week is great. 10 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes, whatever fits into your schedule and is right for you. As you probably know by now, I run a 30-minute virtual meditation twice a week. I write the meditations myself and then guide the session virtually with my groups. So get in touch if you'd like to join that. It's just £3 for your first session and then £6 after that. And there's no pressure to attend weekly. You can drop in and out as you want. You can also access guided meditations on apps like Calm or Insight Timer. Both are great options. If you're a beginner especially, I'd recommend looking for guided meditations. It's much easier than going straight into complete silence with no voice to guide you through the session. I've also got a couple of guided meditation videos up, so check those out too if you want. Another technique you can practice that'll help improve your outlook on life is gratitude. Try and make it a habit to think of a few things you're grateful for on a daily basis. I have a video already on how to practice gratitude and the benefits of it, so go and have a look at that one for more info on how to practice gratitude. In terms of other small, easy things that you can do daily, positive affirmations is another really good one. You could start a gratitude and affirmations journal, or you could start saying a few positive affirmations to yourself when you brush your teeth. If you can, look in the mirror and tell yourself what you love about yourself. And this can be difficult for a lot of people. It was really difficult for me at first. But trust me, it gets easier with time and practice. When you do positive affirmations, the goal is to appreciate yourself. Your relationship with yourself is so important. We're usually our own worst critics, and it can be a hard cycle to break. But once you do, it is so rewarding. I can honestly say that I am the best version of myself that I've ever been because I've worked hard on my relationship with me. It took me a long time to be able to say that I love myself, but I can now. And that is so rewarding, not just for me, but for my loved ones and how I show up for them and other people in the world. I also want to talk about breathing techniques in relation to mental well-being. When I have an anxiety attack or I'm struggling to stay calm when I'm in pain, this is always the first thing that I do. There's a bunch of breathing techniques out there. I've got a video you can check out on box breathing, which is fab for anxiety. And I could do more breathing technique videos too. Let me know if that is something that you'd like. I personally tend to go for box breathing or in for a count of 4, hold for 4, and then breathe out for 8. Breathing techniques are great, not just for moments of crisis, but also for using daily as a centering practice. You might want to do one before meditating or just to bring your mind back to the present moment using your breath. I definitely do a breathing technique at least once or twice a day. I want to leave you today with an old Cherokee story, the tale of 2 wolves. One night, a Cherokee elder was teaching his grandson about life. He said the battle is between two wolves which reside in all of us. One is evil. It's anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other's good. It's joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, kindness, benevolence, empathy, truth, compassion, and faith. And after some reflection, the grandson asks, well, which wolf wins? And the elder simply replies, the one that you feed. I'm sure that I will remember lots of other tips and techniques I want to talk about as soon as I finish this video, but for now, I hope you found some things here that are going to be helpful for you. Please do let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to get in touch, to book meditation, Reiki, whatever, just to chat, I'll leave my email links and my links to socials in the video description. Have a lovely rest of your week. I'll see you soon, hopefully a lot sooner this time. But for now, remember to love yourself, take a breath, and come back to you.